about to begin. We want to welcome you to the Vampire and Devil Show. We want to welcome you to the Vampire and Devil Show. It's gonna be bloody fun. We're gonna kill everyone. Welcome to the Vampire and Devil Show. With lots of blood and lots of guts. Two horror fanatics and rock and roll nuts. Welcome to the Vampire and Devil Show.
What's up there, Fangs? As always, we appreciate all the courtesies of New Jersey HorrorCon. But you know what, Devil? I think we're going to get a little monstrous because you may be the devil, I may be the vampire, but I think these guys are the Monster Squad.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys need to watch out.
We're going to watch out, man. If you're monsters, these guys are going to come and get you.
Absolutely. But we've got Andre, we've got Ryan, and thank you so much for a little bit of your time. And first and foremost, I mean, New Jersey HorrorCon, having you guys out. We've been discussing whether or not, but apparently, Devil, the Wolfman has nards.
Yes, the Wolfman has nards.
This has been confirmed and
confirmed.
continues to be so. So I think it's kind of scientific fact now.
Absolutely. Yes. When you look back so far, especially of the continued fandom of Monster Squad, I mean, it's got to hit, of course, not only so close to home because you guys are a part of that movie, but just the generation to generation aspect, as the people that saw it when it was originally came out are now passing it along to their kids, their grandkids.
Yeah, it did have a nice, beautiful snowball effect. And it's nice to meet newer fans, like little kids that have seen it and their parents are introduced to them. And it's cool to meet those little kids. Except when they are looking at us like, that's not the guy from the
Yes,
I promise you it was me.
Ryan and Andre, if that is your real name.
Maybe.
Right.
Yes, it really has been interesting over the last number of years to kind of see that passing of the torch, kind of the parents, the original fans introducing their kids, and now we're almost into the next phase.
Yeah.
But it's also not just parents passing on their kids; it's kids finding it later as kids, and it still connects in some way. So that's where I think we've really seen not the immediate fandom handoff, but kids of a certain age, whatever it is, even younger, seeing it in the 90s and the 2000s for the first time and joining the club.
Oh, yeah. Especially, like I said, especially with that fandom and, like with the kids and stuff like that. You got your movies like The Monster Squad. You can watch generations. Like I said, I put that in there with as good as Goonies or The Stand By Me's and stuff like that. Those feel-good movies that were just great in the 80s, but you kids in the 90s could watch them, still love it. Kids in 2000s can still watch it. Kids nowadays can still watch that, and it's still good fun. It's good, wholesome fun, but it's still like just a good movie to watch no matter what age you are. You could be 100 to 1 year old and still love The Monster Squad.
Yeah. Well, we're getting close to 100, so when we'll be there shortly. So if we're still rocking at 100, we're in good shape.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
But we also discussed, too, that we talk all the time about it's also got that fun Universal Monsters appeal and stuff like that, of course, with those characters.
Well, yeah. I mean, and those monsters, as what those monsters represent, going back to the original literature and the mythology and the lore, they're all kind of manifestations of what's happening in society at their times that they've been invented, right? Yeah. And what's crazy, scary, interesting, that they still kind of hit. So we always have had either some scary times or real monsters or real kind of monstrous situations, and they can just kind of fill in. They're nice placeholders, and they're timeless, really what it is.
Yeah,
but
sure.
To kind of juxtapose that kind of overall creature monster scare, with a bunch of goofy kids, it's really kind of balances out a little bit.
Absolutely. And Devil, one of the things that we love about the movie that we talk about, and I know a lot of the fans constantly talk about, is just also the great fun, just like one-liners, like the flirty things that you remember. Of course, in Wolfman's Got Nards, but you've also got to give me the amulet, you bitch.
Yeah.
Fred and Shane wrote some zingers.
Yeah.
That I don't know if they were intentionally meant to be zingers, but they became zingers. So
Yeah, for sure. And then
they became part of our lexicon. They just really kind of cemented themselves in the vocabularies.
Oh yeah, and with that resurgence of the Monster Squad, we'll talk a little bit about that. That Wolfman's Got Nards, doc, which is one of my favorite docs of all time. Not only because I'm a huge Monster Squad fan, but I thought it was just well done. I love hearing about the making and stuff like that. How was it like, doing that as part of that part of it with the, directing and doing that kind of style of it versus the acting in those movies?
Well, it was certainly an interesting project, but it to actually see what we ended up with was way beyond meeting expectations that you could possibly imagine, and all of the amazing stuff that comes out of the documentary is mostly the work of my production team, led by my man Henry McComas and Wes Caldwell and Shane and Aaron Kunkel and a few others that just went on the road with us and worked in the production studio for about a year, and which actually is a short time to make a doc of that much length and that time. So they did double time and triple time, and then I dragged Ryan and Ashley around the country for a while, and it really was a unique experience because a lot of people asked, they know the fan impact, they know the fan stories, and then they always ask like, what's your story with this impact of the movie, and what's your kind of connection to it? And I never had an answer, and then I realized that the documentary is the answer.
Yeah.
And I think we knocked it out of the park with what we were trying to do, based on all the awesome work by those guys I mentioned. But it really gives another conversation to add on top of the layer of how the Monster Squad impacts and connected with people, and then it gives us another conversation to kind of parallel that. And then it was really kind of a spotlight on the fans, on fandom in general. And then also how something like a movie could impact someone so deeply that it stays with them forever and actually changes who they are or makes them become who they're going to be. And always something to go back to if they need it. And so we just got so much more out of it than we thought, but we knew there was a lot there, so it worked.
Yeah. And that was one of the part of the documentaries that really hit me so deep, was when you were talking in the documentary, and what also really kind of allowed for the birth of such a great documentary was how hardcore the fandom for the Monster Squad is, and how much these people care about your movie. And it's also wonderful to think back too that even though there's members of the cast and your peers and your friends that aren't with us anymore, they're going to live forever, not only through the movie but with the documentary.
No doubt. I mean, not having Brent Chalem around anymore from a long time ago, is I was devastated. Just in general, because we lose someone awesome. But then to have the resurgence in the fandom, relay their stories that, look, some people are Sean's, everybody wants to be Rudy, everybody loves Horace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody loves Horace.
Yeah.
And like Ryan always says, he's got the best arc in the movie, and he's that rise up and really become the kid that everybody would ever want to be.
Yeah.
And that's timeless. And the only thing we always say, it's like, what's really tragic about it is Brent's not here because he didn't get to experience the fandom and the resurgence.
Yeah.
And then the fans don't get to meet him. And so, that's a tough hole.
Yeah.
But, so we'll try to do what we can for him, but I think the fans are doing a good enough job keeping him around.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Well, like I said, thank you for taking the time. I know you. Like I said, it's awesome talking Monster Squad and stuff like that. We're huge fans.
And we got one more thing for you before we allow you, of course, to hit up your panel and talk to some more fans. Is obviously the documentary can be seen streaming right now. For people that are meeting you at cons, love to get their things signed. Is there possibilities of a hard copy release of Wolfman's Got Nards?
Interestingly enough, good timing. There is. The great folks at Kino Lorber are actually putting out a special edition of Wolfman's Got Nards with a few minutes of extra features that no one has seen. So we get to see, who doesn't want more Ryan Lambert?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Hey, you guys discuss more in the extra minutes you discuss more about the 2 kill or 3 kill vampires?
Well, maybe, but you'll have to get it and see.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for taking the
Absolutely.
time.
Thank
and
you so
talking to us.
much.
Awesome, guys.
We appreciate you guys. Have a great panel. We'll be in there checking it out as well. Thank you so much, fans. We'll be back in a little bit. He is the devil. I am the vampire. More importantly, they are the Monster Squad. Andre, Ryan, thank you so much. Horns up, bangs out.